You know how we do when we have funky music in our ear. We get to writing, ain't no fighting, we just in there trying to win. Ooh yeah, la-di-da, we grinding hard. Ooh yeah, we not gonna stop. Yeah, 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 yeah. Too late to turn back now. I got work to do. On a mission, by my business, I'm pushing through.
Hello sports fans, I'm Nicholas Austin Holiday, and I'm here with Between Classic Sports. What a great week we just had in college football. There was a lot of exciting games, a lot of big wins, and a lot of big losses. First, I'm going to do my recap of the Florida schools and just touch on a few things and see where the schools are going from there. First of all, we have to talk about the primetime game. So far, the game of the season, Florida State versus Notre Dame. Florida State pulled out the victory in the end, 31-27. But what a big game we had. We had two of the top quarterbacks going back and forth with each other. We had Jameis Winston from Florida State, and we had Everett Golson from Notre Dame, and they battled it out all game. Everett Golson put on a nice display in the first half. Jameis Winston had some issues, had some problems with the offensive line blocking for them. So if you have to grade it out, Notre Dame won the first half pretty much. But there's a reason why Jameis Winston is a Heisman Trophy winner and currently the best quarterback in college football. In the second half, Jameis Winston came out and he torched Notre Dame, going 15 of 16 for 181 yards and a touchdown, and a dazzling display. As great as the game was, unfortunately, it ended with some slight controversy. It ended with a offensive pass interference call against Notre Dame, which negated their touchdown in the final seconds, which would have put them up with about 40 seconds left to play in the game. It doesn't matter what anybody says. The call was the right call. It was an offensive pass interference call. It's Notre Dame's bad. Coach Brian Kelly said that they practice that play all the time and it's not an illegal play. It is an illegal play, Brian Kelly, and that's why they called it, and that's why you lost the game. But outside of that, what a great game. You can't deny it. When you have two powerhouse teams like that going back and forth, it's going to be a great game. Florida State was number 2. Notre Dame was number 5. And after that loss, Notre Dame only fell 2 spots to number 7. So that shows how big of a game it was, and that shows how the perception of it in the media's eyes and the national attention around the country. Miami's coming off of a bye week after dragging Cincinnati 55-34. That was a big game for Miami. Al Golden's been on the hot seat. A lot of fans have been calling for his head. A lot of people are wondering what's going on down in Coral Gables right now. Miami's not performing up to expectations. They have the talent, they have the players, but where's the disconnect? Is it the coaching? Is it player development? What's going on? But a lot of people are trying to see if Miami's going to break out, but people are calling for Al Golden's head right now. But they have a big game tomorrow night when they play Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech has been struggling a lot this season too, but Virginia Tech still has a very stout defense. You know, a Bud Foster defense under Frank Beamer is always going to be a pretty good defense, and they have a very good backfield. So we're going to see what Miami can do. We're going to see what Duke Johnson can do. Brad Kaya, are they going to be able to move the ball on the Virginia Tech defense? Because if they're not, they're going to run into a lot of problems. But we're going to see how things play out. But I think I'll take Miami in a close game over Virginia Tech, as long as they can get the ball rolling and their talent, and they can just really push forward with their talent, the talent level that they have over Virginia Tech. Florida lost to Missouri. Florida got destroyed by Missouri during their homecoming game. That you never want to schedule a team that can beat you for your homecoming game. And I don't think that anybody saw this game coming and the score that it was. Missouri beat Florida 42-13. Muschamp is all but fired pretty much. They're probably gonna let Muschamp coach out the rest of the season, but Muschamp, his leash is gone already. It's not a short leash anymore. It's pretty much gone. Florida, their defense only gave up 120 yards to Missouri's offense, and they still lost by that much. Missouri had special team scores. They scored on defense. Florida had 6 turnovers. That's unacceptable. For a powerful team like that that's in one of the most fertile recruiting areas in the country, that should not be happening, especially a loss like that to Missouri. So Muschamp has been riding with Jeff Driscoll, and Jeff Driscoll has performed. He's underperformed the entire season so far. He underperformed last season also before he got injured. So for the next game, Jeff Driscoll will actually be on the bench, and the freshman Treon Harris from Miami, Florida, will be the starting quarterback against Georgia. That's never an easy game. They play in Jacksonville. Georgia's ranked in the top 10 right now. That's going to be a very tough game for them. Let's see if Treon Harris can give them the spark that they need. I still think it's pretty much over. I think a lot of the players have quit on Muschamp, and I think that Georgia wins the game comfortably. But you know what? It's time to start. It's time for Florida to start preparing for the future. You get some of those young guys in, you give them some experience, and you see where they go from here. So I'm curious to see if Jeff Driscoll can give them the spark that they need. I mean, they still have a lot of talent around him. Kelvin Taylor at running back. They have Matt Jones at running back. Andre DeBose at receiver. So they have a lot of talent. They just have to get it all together and just try to pull out the rest of the season and do the best they can. USF beat Tulsa. Close game, 38-30. But you know what? I feel like USF is getting better as a team. They're not going to make any noise this year, but Willie Taggart has them going in the right direction, and that's the most important thing. The thing is, you always want to see progress, and when Holtz left USF, they were in a bad place. So Willie Taggart really has his hands full with really getting the program back to where they need to be. He has to bring in his players. He has to get his scheme in and everything. But I really think that they're headed in the right direction, and I like where things are going with them right now. So I'm interested to see how they're going to look for the rest of the season and into the following year. Up next, they're going to be playing Cincinnati, and Cincinnati's been underwhelming so far also. So that should be a pretty good game. Not sure who's going to pull that one out, but you know what? If they win that game, that's even more of a step in the right direction. UCF defeated Tulane 20-13. UCF continue to look. They look up and down, but it's expected. After losing so much talent, you can't expect a team to just dominate the following year. But UCF is typically in a good place with the talent that they develop, and with their coach O'Leary, they're always going to be a solid team. So look for UCF definitely going to lose some more games this year, but look for UCF to have a winning record at the end of the year and possibly go bowling, which I'm sure they will. The AAC is not the strongest conference, so you know they're definitely in a good conference for where they want to be right now, and I look for them to do some big things later on in the year. They actually have Temple coming up. Temple's actually 4-2, so Temple's no slouch. So I think that'll be a very good game to look out for, and we'll see who comes out on top. FIU lost to Marshall 45-13. FIU is just not really a very good team. And Marshall is a very good team. They're undefeated. Marshall's currently 7-0. They have the phenom Cato at quarterback. So I'm pretty sure everybody expected Marshall to win the game. Marshall blew FIU out, but that's what everybody expected. Marshall keeps rolling. Marshall's actually ranked in the top 25 now, but are they good enough to be a BCS buster? I doubt it. You know, some people said that Marshall may make the playoff. Marshall's schedule is not strong enough. They're not going to make the playoff unless there's some great collapse with the top teams in the Power 5 conferences. But I like Marshall. Marshall looks good, and I'm pretty sure that they're going to make some noise the rest of this season, probably go undefeated, maybe lose one game. FAU lost to Western Kentucky 45-38. FAU, the game started out pretty close, and FAU was putting up a fight. FAU hasn't had the best team as of late. Western Kentucky pulled away a little bit. FAU kept it close though, but I think the score is a little misleading. I think Western Kentucky could have won by more, but you have to give it to FAU for at least keeping the score respectable, because it could have definitely gotten ugly for them. Up next, FAU plays Marshall. We know how that plays out. Marshall will probably do the same thing to FAU that it did to FIU, unfortunately. But like I said, Marshall's a very good team this year, and they have a very good quarterback and a very good supporting cast. FAMU, 2 wins in a row. I like what Earl Holmes is doing right now. I don't know how it's going to play out the rest of the season, but FAMU needed that, because up until the last two games, they hadn't won any games. Then they beat Savannah State, and they beat Howard. FAMU actually beat Howard on their homecoming. Once again, like I always say, do not schedule a team that can beat you for your homecoming. You have parents coming in, you have families coming in, and nobody wants to come and see the team lose. But bravo to FAMU for beating Howard on their homecoming and winning the second straight game. Bethune-Cookman played Savannah State, beat Savannah State 48-20. Savannah State's not a good team. You know, just flat out. Savannah State's probably one of the worst schools out there that's playing at somewhat of a higher level. So nobody really expects Savannah State to do much. Bethune-Cookman University has a really good team. They have a really good coach. They recruit really well, and they get a lot of top players that transfer from top schools, maybe go to junior colleges. So Bethune-Cookman, they have a chance to win the MEAC, just like they did last year. But it's not a surprise that they beat Savannah State. Unfortunately, Southeastern took an L. They lost to Ave Maria University, 38-35. Southeastern has looked pretty good this year, but you can't win them all. But I'm sure Southeastern will get back on track. I like what they're doing out there in Lakeland, and I look for them to really get back on track and make a splash. We're going to take a break right now, and we'll come back with what's going on in the top 25.
You know how we do when we have funky music in our ear. We get to writing, ain't no fighting, we just in there trying to win. Ooh yeah, la-di-da, we grinding hard. Ooh yeah, we not gonna stop. Yeah, 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 yeah. Too late to turn back now. I got work to do. On a mission, by my business, I'm pushing through, no slacking. Make it happen, we grinding hard, we grinding hard. You know how we do when we have funky music in our ear. We get to writing, ain't no fighting, we just in there trying to win. Ooh yeah, la-di-da, we grinding hard. Ooh yeah, we not gonna stop. Yeah, 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 yeah. Too late to turn back now. I got work to do. On a mission, by my business, I'm pushing through, no slacking. Make it happen, we grinding hard, we grinding hard. You know how we do when we have funky music in our ear. We get to writing, ain't no fighting, we just in there trying to win. Ooh yeah, la-di-da, we grinding hard. Ooh yeah, we not gonna stop. Yeah, 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 yeah. Too late to turn back now. I got work to do. On a mission, by my business, I'm pushing through,